Hello, and welcome back to my study guide here for 308 with Houston Community College. And I'm going through the chapters and creating a study guide on these chapters and sections here, and I'm moving along. And I've got to something that's a little scary to most. It was scary to me at first, and it is word problems. Now, basically, don't let math be your mental monster. I know, like, whenever I first saw word problems, like, my heart started to pound and I started getting a little anxiety. I'm not even going to know how to get it right. Well, I'm going to teach you some simple tricks. First, I'm going to go over, like, some of the simple key concepts of word problems and translating, and then we're going to go into work some of the few examples of word problems that they give us here in this 308 section. Now, if you'll recall that we translate, if it's a worded problem, we're going to go through, and I go through and circle the keywords and phrases and concepts. And now if you're trying to solve, basically, we're trying to create an equation based out of this word problem. And so that way we can solve. So we're going to be translating to an algebraic expression with the concepts and key phrases. And now remember, your key phrases are, your operation. Like, remember that if you can go back to section 9.1 and you can look in there, there's a really nice handy dandy chart that explains some of the concepts of what kind of operation you're going to do. So if you see these things worded like added to 3 plus a number, you're going to be adding plus the variable of that number. And if you're going to be multiplying or dividing, or in 3 years, or 3 years ago, of course that would be 3 years ago, that would imply that you would be subtracting. And of course the words is and was, that means like equal to. So generally those are some of the key words. So just go through. Of course there's a lot of mumble jumble around it, so just circle your keywords, like the concepts and phrases, added to, total, plus, all of that kind of stuff. And then, of course, the concepts that you're trying to do. Now, there's basically 3 types of word problems that we learn here through 308. And basically, that's how to solve for percent, getting an idea of, like, how much you need to tip is a really good example, or how much, something will cost if you, deduct 20% off. Now, I love to shop, so that is one of the equations that I didn't have any difficulty trying to solve as a female, was coming in and going shopping. Whenever I see 20% off, I know, bam, I can multiply that times, whatever the price is, times 20% off, 30% off, and then subtract that from that amount, and that will be the amount that I will be paying. So girls, sometimes they give you the chart, like how much it was and how much it will be at a percent off. Like Kohl's is a really good example. When you go in, they do have those little charts of like the amounts between, like, if you look on the tag and it says $39.99 and it says 40% off, you just go through there and you see the number. But some department stores do not put that on there. And whenever I was a kid, like 16, going shopping, I remember like establishing a halfway point. So I knew, like, if it were 50% off, it would be like exactly half of the number. But if it were anywhere between that range, I would try to guesstimate how much money off it would be. So I knew if it were like 20% off, it's less than 50%. So I'd try to, divide that in half, of like what half of it would be, and then subtract that amount. So that's how I did that pretty efficiently. But now, you've got calculators and things on your phone, so you know how to do the operation, and I can see, okay, this is my budget, I'm going shopping, and how much I can spend. So I know girls love to shop, so this is a word problem I think most people should like. And the other one is they show distance problems, where, like, if you're hiking through this distance place and you were 2 times the length at the beginning before you got to the end, at a certain rate, then we'll teach you how to get those kinds of questions. And basically, there's a good formula to learn out of these three different. Mapform is basically an equation that you're putting together from the concept of the word problem. And of course the age problems, like so-and-so is this age, in 3 years, he'll be half of what they were, So those are the different types of problems that we are going to see through our sections here in 308. And I hope you stick around so I can show you how to go about creating an equation based on the concepts and key phrases that are detailed in those word problems.